Welcome everyone. We are with Valter Padovan, who is an impressive result in Maker Faire competitions. He joined the competitions in Maker Faire and he spent a lot of time and he gave us quite a great impression in the award ceremony. So we are going to have some questions for him. Welcome, Walter. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, thanks.
Can we get to know you better? You spent a great time in Riders and you're having an impressive result. So can you talk about yourself?
Yes. First of all, thank you for the invitation and congratulations for the Riders platform.
Thank you.
Okay, my name is Valter Padovan from Italy. In my professional life, I work as a project assistant in an important European research institute. My activities are in the sustainable transport field and mainly on vehicle emission and autonomous vehicles. But, this is very important, I can definitely be considered a maker. So, in my private life, I enjoy robotics. This passion was born about 10 years ago to involve my son and daughter and teach them something about new technologies. Now that my children have grown up, my passion is shared with my team, the ItLook robotic team, made up of 10 people with adults and children.
That's perfect. So you are contributing to the robotics community with your works and with your actually coaching to the team.
Yes.
That's amazing. How is the lockdown going there? Since you're a team, I guess the lockdown affected your robotics activities or education maybe?
Here, the lockdown is still very hard. Therefore, many educational activities for teenagers are with distance learning. I'm not a teacher, but I know that robotics activity have been carried on anyway, thanks to the various platforms for seminars and video conference. And it is very important, this thing, because to reach teenagers, it is important to have alternative platform.
Definitely. I hope we can keep contributing everyone, even if there's no lockdown in near future. Hopefully there's no lockdown in near future.
Yes.
How did you hear about Riders? So you joined the Maker Faire competition, so probably heard it from there. But what did you think when you first saw that competition, and what was your first impression with using the platform?
I knew Riders thanks to some old friends from Officine Robotiche. Sometimes we collaborate with them, and we often participate in the Maker Faire in Rome as exhibitors or simple visitors. I thought could be a good opportunity to get involved in a new challenge, especially since almost all the real competition have been suspended due to the lockdown.
What were your initial questions like? What did you think about when you first using the platform? What was your first questions?
A lot of questions, because it was totally new for me, for us, for all the team. For example, will a high knowledge of software be required?
Yeah.
Or will be able to participate even if I'm not a programmer? Because I'm not a programmer. I love hardware. I don't love software in general.
Yes, specifically in online, software was a part of it, right?
Yes. Another question, how to share content and information? Will the platform provide all the necessary tools? What is the type of language used in the platform? Now I know that I can use Python or C++, but start was not clear.
Yeah, maybe for next time, it's better to make those things clear for everyone else. To make the onboarding a little bit easier for everyone.
Yes. Another question, participation will be free. How long will the competition last? Can I invite friends? So can you see, you can see a lot of questions, because the platform was really new for me, and the interesting was high for the new challenge.
I was curious about if you had some difficulties after those questions, or you found the solution and you got to use the platform.
Oh, at the end I find the solution, because I used the blog, the discussion, also email with colleagues. So in some days, most of the problem was solved.
Okay, happy to know that. Happy to know that.
Yes.
How did you find the user friendliness of the platform? So you had some questions at first, and it was a totally new platform for you. But how was the overall experience? How easy was using Riders platform after those initial questions?
I'm finding the Riders platform really user friendly and easy to use because in a short time I was able to use many of the tools available, including the blog, discussion, etc. As already mentioned, I'm not a programmer, so I haven't poked around the operating system code. But I think someone more capable will find this part really interesting. I think my friends in the team, three of them are excellent programmer.
Great, great.
Yes.
And you are telling me you are not a programmer, but you actually finished the competition with a pretty impressive result. So I'm curious about how was your approach on the track? Because I also heard some great inputs from you in the award ceremony. So I'm curious, how did you approach the tracks?
Yes. But first of all, not really impressive, I would say, because I only got 2 second place.
That is still impressive because first place was also a really high score. So
Yes,
actually
yes,
there was
yes.
not a big difference between the first two.
But I'm still very happy because two of the winners are from my team. So for us, it's really important to be a team, not a single person. And
So you were
this
almost
is the spirit of our fun activity with the team. Yes. My approach was different in the two competition. For example, in the drone competition, I immediately thought about writing an automatic algorithm because I'm not that young anymore and I'm really poor with video games. It is impossible to compete with my son and my daughter in video games. So I didn't use the keyboard
Mhm.
only one time to see the track, and then I went to prepare an automatic algorithm. And I think that the result was great for me. Yes,
Yeah,
for me.
that seemed to work pretty well. And it was really impressive that imagining someone can do that with keyboard instead of your coding was really impressive to know. And yes, still, it might not be the first place, but it was a great approach on a keyboard competition. So everybody was joining with their
Yes.
keyboards, and you actually wrote a code for that.
Yes, I have a low number of tentative, while other competitors have a lot number of tentative. I remember more than 100 tentative for the first and third place, for example. In my
Yeah,
case, only 16, I remember.
probably, yeah.
Yes,
Like
yes.
when it's a gaming type of competition, people are also eager to play around with the drone and try to improve their scores as well. So it was really fun for also for me to play and for me to watch as well, because the leaderboard was constantly changing and it was going actually pretty exciting in the last day. And I guess
Yes,
you kept the first place until the last day or some last couple hours. So it was also pretty impressive to follow the competitions
yes.
afterward.
While about the second competition, in the line follower advanced competition, I tried to write a simple code based on my experience with real line follower. Then I studied the camera and the 32 pixel array. Finally, I gradually improved the code to adapt it to the track, and in particular to find the right management of 90 degree. Regarding the camera, however, I must point out that having a frame rate of 100 milliseconds is really little. In fact, to recognize and manage the 19-degree angle in the best way, I had to reduce the speed of the robot a lot, which was a problem not only for me but also for my team. But in this case, the situation is the same for all. So the
Must be
the
not
rules is
a
the rules the platform was the same.
Exactly, exactly.
Yes,
And Massimiliano was also talking about the same issue he had. And
yes, yes, yes,
yeah, he
yes,
also
yes, yeah.
described us his solution with the frame rate of the camera.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
yeah, it drives you to find a new solution. So that was easy. That was the same thing and not
Yes,
easy for
yes.
everyone else.
For example, I spoke with Massimiliano,
Mhm.
and we used two different approach with track, with different algorithm, obviously, but also with different strategy. So it is possible to have a different solution also with the same path, the same track.
That's the beauty in it. That's the great part of a competition. You said you joined the advanced line follower competition, and have you had the chance to check the beginner track as well? And what were the different values you can get from those two different tracks? Because there were some slight differences between.
Yes, yes, but obviously only after the competition, not during the competition. Yes, I was able to see the beginner track, and I had a lot of fun trying to reach the limit because it's really simple, but it's difficult to reach a high score. The camera in this case worked fine. In general, in my opinion, it was a good idea to have two line follower tracks with different difficulties for beginners and experts.
Mhm.
For the beginner track, a simple code can already work well, while in the advanced one, it is necessary to work a lot and fine-tune the code, even with advanced programming techniques and better algorithms.
Would you prefer joining a league to compete with others? I know as a team you are already preparing and actually joining robotics competitions. And what do you think about actually joining a league to constantly compete, maybe in a monthly activity? Do you see your team spending time on such an activity?
But I would certainly like to participate in other competition, but I don't know if I will have the time to dedicate to a real championships.
Mhm.
But maybe we see.
Yeah, maybe, let's say.
Yes, in the last few weeks, I was able to spend a lot of time because I was on holidays or with
Yeah.
weekends free from particular commitment. Also because we are in the Christmas break. But I don't know if it is possible also in the future. But I'm sure that I will participate in single competition
Yeah, good to
because
know.
it was really interesting the participation in the competition. Yes, yes.
What do you think about Riders platform itself? I want to ask more questions about platform itself. So, do you think students should spare a budget to, competitions and courses maybe on Riders platform?
But yes, I think students could save a budget for the Rider platform as an alternative to the cost of a standard robotic kit, which is usually priced between 200 and $400. In my opinion, educational institutions could also take steps to provide this type of experience to their students.
As a team, you have also joined, and you're also interested in hardware part of robotics. So you joined physical competitions. And
Yes, yes.
what sort of challenges do they like the physical competitions have? And what was the easier point with an online competition with Riders platform?
Of course, our team has been participating for years in the most important real robotics competition in Europe.
Mhm.
The experiences gained has allowed us to achieve incredible results. So I cannot forget the success, for example, at the Robo Challenge in Vienna, at the International Robotic Tournament in Poland, or at the Robotics in Estonia. The competitions are many, but the most important remain line follower, also with specific robotic kits, line follower advanced, with hills, slope, break, 19 degree, and other obstacles. Another very important is sumo robotic, various categories from nano sumo, 25 grams, to 3 kilo, or fork race. Do you remember the example of on riders with red walls?
Yeah.
Yes, fork race is similar. In real competition, normally 4 or 5 robots compete together.
Mhm.
It's a really race. It's a really race. Really interesting.
Should be an exciting competition to watch, actually.
Yes, there are a lot of video about folk race on the web. Very interesting. Regarding riders, the easiest point regarding online competition is definitely the comfort. All you need is a computer and an internet connection. Obviously, missing the adrenaline that you only live in a real competition, and also the pleasure of traveling in company of our friends.
I'm happy that there was an opportunity for everyone to join a competition during especially this lockdown times.
Yes, yes, yes.
And what would you be your suggestions to make the competitions more interesting and fun? And specifically when it's online, the human contact is less than physical ones.
Yes, yes. I have some suggestion. For example, have a calendar with more frequent competition,
Mm-hmm.
not a championship, but a single competition. Add the other competition among the first sumo and folk race. For sumo, to have different categories, nano, micro, mini, etc., as in reality. And important, equip the robots of the various categories with increasingly performing sensor. The smallest robot only, for example, only one sensor to recognize the line and one or two sensors to recognize the body adversary.
Mm-hmm.
In 3 kilo, to have a lot of sensor, for example, camera, distance sensor, etc. Could be an idea to increase the difficulty to use also with different categories of robot. Really similar in the real competition. Because in small space, it is possible to insert a camera. Another suggestion, for example, give the opportunity to build or at least modify the robot.
Mm-hmm.
For example, in some parts, some wells, distance of sensor, position of camera, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Or a possibility to create with the basis pieces the own robot, dedicated robot. And another thing, reward the winners with courses, for example, with the courses. I remember the prize was Raspberry,
Mm-hmm.
but we have already Raspberry, but I don't have the specific courses about the platform. It would be a good idea to.
Okay, all of these are noted for the next competitions. You said you check out the beginner competition, beginner line follower competition after the competition. So I already know that you logged into Riders platform after the competition. So what would be your motivations to use Riders platform other than the competitions itself? How would you use the competition, the platform? Sorry.
In this moment, I have a lot of time because we are in lockdown. We are with my family. Every evening, we play with table games,
Uh-huh.
and we always stay in the kitchen to prepare tasks, etc. But I have also a lot of time to spend on the PC. But yes, I'm still using the Riders platform a lot after the competition. But unfortunately, I will have less time to dedicate to this probably in the coming months. But definitely, I'm really happy because I improved my score in both drone and line follower advanced competition. Now my score is the first in the leaderboards. Because
Even though after the competition.
I'm using a lot of strategy in the algorithm and software to improve step by step the performance.
Okay, great.
And however, I would be interested in learning more about programming with ROS, for example,
Mhm.
robot operating system, because I use different type of platform for our robotics. You know, Arduino, for example,
Mhm.
but I don't know well ROS, so it could be an opportunity to a bit improve my knowledge also in this argument, in this field.
What would your suggestions about someone who is newly joining the robotics community and learning robotics and coding, of course? And do you think Riders would be a good platform for someone who is trying to learn robotics? And what would be your suggestions to ones who want to learn robotics?
I think that Riders is a good possibility to learn in connection with real robotics kit. In general, my idea is to start small and don't step too far. Also because not all kids have the same interest in robotics. Then definitely play with the STEM robotic kit. Also to learn more about mechanical and electronic elements. And why not use the Riders platform? Also maybe with some free courses for newcomers, for teenager, for child in general. This is my idea, my opinion.
What are the biggest strengths about the Riders platform? So what was the strongest point that the platform helps you?
Prove, for example, in my case, I don't know Python. This is the opportunity to use a new language program. Normally, I use C, C++, Basic, etc. But Python was the first time for me. It is a good, a good experiences. Yes.
And last question: would you recommend Riders platform to your friends of yours, or to someone who is interested in learning robotics, or like as you said, Python itself?
Yes. I would recommend Riders to friends, and I've already done this with people interested in robotics. We have already created the group It-Look Robotic Team in Riders and share some projects. About the Riders platform, I have other things. For example, it is easy to use. It is important the free account, even if credit limit. Low cost for extension, fun guaranteed with competition, and being able to do everything in the living room or bedroom.
Yeah.
Because only a PC and internet connection are required. In
Yeah.
general, I'm sure it is a great platform for teaching robotics to new people. I would always suggest having different level of access, newcomers, based, advanced, expert, and so on, with gradually increasing editor functionality. Because also in other platforms, something for newcomers is there are some problems with a lot of icons, a lot of and have a different level of editor with different level of people involved in the platform. I think it is an important thing. Obviously, also with the possibility to change anytime the level in the other step.
These will be all my questions. Thank you for sharing your experience and sharing your ideas with me. Once again, congratulations for your great result. Even though, as you said, it's second, it was still very impressive. It was also a very different approach than the others. So it was also a teaching opportunity for us.
Yes.
Thank you again. I'm happy that you enjoyed the Riders platform. If you want to add more things, I'm happy to listen.
Okay. Thank you again. And we hope to see you soon in new competition.
Yeah. Hope to
A
see
big hello.
again.
A big hello from Italy, from Valter and the whole It-Look robotic team. Bye bye.